This amplifier, this Deluxe Reverb, was modified for Paul Jackson Jr. while he was at Valley Arts Guitar from 1976 to 1979. And these amplifiers, this particular one has what I developed as called the Stage 2 mod. And there's some features on this that were fairly consistent, even though internally some of them would be different depending on the condition of the amp, the voicing that the musician wanted, and so on. So this amplifier has the typical 2 channels of the Deluxe Reverb. It has a 6-position fat switch, which we developed, which adds body to the high end of your strings. It has a pull boost modification. It has a bright switch, which Deluxe Reverbs never came with. Has a master volume. The tremolo controls one of them has been relocated to the back panel, and it now incorporates a presence control as well. So the amplifier has substantially more gain than the standard Deluxe Reverb and of its era. And this particular amplifier was built in 1979, so this is one of the later ones. And well, you can use the additional gain in the front end, turn down the master, and have a preamp type of distortion, or you can, because of the gain, you can drive the 6v6 output stage. And because it has a unique coupling between the output transformer and the Electro Voice speaker, which is what we put in these amplifiers standard, it has a very unusual sound. The output transformer itself, which is the stock Deluxe Reverb transformer, reacts to the inductance of this Electro Voice speaker in a very peculiar way. And you can see the actual distortion response of the power amp be substantially different than if it was powering a Celestion speaker or so on. So there was like this magic that occurred with the increased gain, fatter tone, less ripple in the power supply. There's many things that went on to create this sonic signature, which was made famous on many records by Paul Jackson Jr. This is the Stage 2 mod. A Stage 4 mod took all these features and added channel switching to it, as well as an active effects loop. When I went to Fender in 1981, I took the results of Stage 4 mods and other mods and created a line of amplifiers with Fender.
Do some of these features are in Rivera's of today?
The actual tonal signatures of the 6v6 and so on were, and also the fatness on the top end of the strings was incorporated in amplifiers like the Fandango and the Kiana and so on. So even our Venus recording today has some of the tonal signatures that started off in these modified amplifiers. So what started out with my shop in San Diego in 1972 and modifying amplifiers for some of the local musicians in San Diego, by the time I had moved to Hollywood in 1976 and started working with Yamaha as a consultant as well as many of the studio cats, Dean Parks came to me with his Fender Princeton and asked me to modify his Fender Princeton. After that, Larry Carlton came and had his modified, and the word kind of spread, and then it went to Mitch Holder, and it went to Jay Graydon, and then Jay Graydon actually got turned on to my mods from Dean Parks. And so it kind of got the whole snowball rolling. Now, different amplifier models would have different modifications. For example, a Princeton reverb would have a different set of mods. The commonality would, of course, be the 6-position switch, but there would be other changes to the output stage, the power supply, and so on in order to get a great tone out of it. So then other models required different kinds of modifications. And, you know, when you would see Tommy Tedesco as well as Lee Rittenauer and Carlton and all these session cats and Dean Parks using my modified amplifiers, there are literally thousands of tracks with my Rivera modified amplifiers on them.